Hey everyone, and welcome. My name's Ryan, and this is Developer's Garage. So today we're going to continue our work on the StreamTools that Mr. C# Fritz has started putting together, specifically the rundown component. But before we get started, let's go over the rules real quick. As always, this is a safe space for anybody to ask questions about anything, whether it be the project we're working on or a project that you're working on that you've got questions on, as well as we don't want to bash any technologies either I'm using or that another viewer is using. And so we just want this to be a nice space for communication, understanding, and just being able to enjoy all the technology around us. Let's switch over to my screen. I'm still using my fancy new Stream Deck, and if you do see a little bit of lighting issues, I still apologize. I'm still working on the whole lighting thing. Got my green screen going really well, but whenever my main monitor gets dark, my face loses some light, and then also the screen a little bit, so things get a little fuzzy. So I'm still looking for a little soft light to put right in front of me so it can give me a nice radiant glow. And also just keep everything looking nice and crisp on the screen. But I wanted to call out some of the conferences that we have coming up. If you are somebody who has spoken at a conference before, more power to you. Just keep going, keep doing it. If you've never spoken at a conference before and you do have some interest, I encourage you to get out there, put in a proposal. Most, if not all, conferences do have call for proposals. Some of your big ones like Build and WWDC, Google I/O are going to be more invite-only kind of conferences. But there are a lot of other great conferences going on around the world, and usually in your neck of the neighborhood. Some of the ones that I've been going to that I really enjoy going to, start off with NWA Tech Fest. They currently have a call for speakers going on. Their information on their main site is not up to date. If you follow them on Twitter, or if you just go to Sessionize. I think they're using Sessionize. Let's see if their speakers has some updated info. Nope, still on the 2018 stuff. Well, they do have a way that you can actually go and apply to become a speaker for their next conference. I don't have the exact dates. You know what? Let me look it up. So I do have it on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can see up in the upper right-hand corner, hopefully, at Rhino9791. That's me. That is my personal Twitter account. And then if you want to just watch this, if you're watching this from video on demand or somewhere in the near future, thank you. But you can always watch me live at twitch.developersgarage.com, twitch.tv.developersgarage.com. No .com on there. And then I always just check out our YouTube channel. But let me pull up my Twitter real quick here, because I do have that bookmarked. So the NWA Tech Fest is coming. 2019 will be held April 18th. It's held in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And so that's your Northwest Arkansas Tech Fest. A great venue, a great group of hosts, a great group of attendees. It's either going to be I'm gonna do another proposal, but it's going to be either my third or fourth time. It's one I really enjoy. Being in Tulsa, it's one that I can easily drive to a couple hours. So it doesn't cost a lot of travel time. But if you're in the Northwest Arkansas area and you're new, go check it out. There's some great content. And if you see me there, say hi. I'm always interested in meeting people who can give me some feedback, who've watched the show, the talk, whatever you want to call this, the stream before. So that's one of them. KCDC, that's another fun one. I think last year was my first opportunity to speak at KCDC, and it was a blast. It's held in Kansas City, Missouri, hence Kansas City Developers Conference. Yeah, but it's going on again. This is still the old one, but they do have a call for speakers. If I go to my speakers here, does it tell me that about it? No, it just goes to the other speakers. So if you want to know, they do have a CFP. They use Sessionize, I believe, for theirs as well. Great, a little larger conference. If you're looking to attend, it is well worth the money. They have some great workshops. One of the things I'm going to be doing is submitting a workshop over Xamarin from your beginning to end experience. So create an app, test the app, let's get some CI/CD in there, and then let's see how we can quickly and easily automate the process of getting it to your app stores. So hopefully my goal is to get that submitted. This one does close here tomorrow. So get it in and get them in fast. They have a lot of people that submit to these. And like I said, last year was one of the first times I got to speak there. And hopefully it's not going to be my last. I met a lot of people, even from my area, in the Tulsa area, there who go to speak, even to attend. So go there, apply there. Another larger conference is that conference. Last year, I unfortunately did not get a chance. I had some unfortunate circumstances come up, and I was not able to actually speak at this conference. It was the first time I've been accepted to it, so I was really excited, but unfortunately, I was not there. They do have their call for speakers open. So theirs is August 5th through 8th at the Kalahari Resort in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. I didn't know where that was, but I looked it up. It's not that bad. The Kalahari Resort's awesome looking. If you're from Dallas or potentially Kansas City, think of Great Wolf Lodge. Basically, an indoor water park, fun for the family. They even have a kids track, a kids sets of sessions for kids that helps bring your kids, my kids, other kids into technology, get them started, get them going. Last week, my son actually asked me to help him start, learning how to develop. And so it was such a blast to just sit down with him and just start going over HTML is where we started. So creating a simple website using Notepad. I didn't want him to get bogged down by all the applications. It's something he can do on his mom's computer, or he can do it on mine. He doesn't have to have any specialized software, and he can just start learning and playing and just becoming an all-around better developer. Another one that I don't have listed up here, and unfortunately the CFP is closed, but if you are looking for something, a great conference in DC, Minnesota, I did get a workshop submitted there, so fingers crossed that it gets picked and we'll be able to attend. It's another Xamarin talk. So I love developing in Xamarin. I love mobile development. And the ability to take my .NET skills, C# skills, and just transfer that over into mobile applications. I don't have to really learn anything new. I can create mobile apps for both platforms. That's awesome. So again, I'll be hopefully delivering a workshop there. And I want to clarify one little thing on that. Xamarin being the end-all, be-all, silver bullet for mobile development. It's not. You still need to know your platforms. There's still design guidelines you still have to take into account, but Xamarin provides you the flexibility and ease to meet those on both platforms without having to go again and learn two separate languages. And I also can produce Windows Store apps. I can produce desktop apps. Soon it'll be Mac OS, Tizen. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and they're coming. So Xamarin is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And so get on the boat now. Get on the boat early. Tell your conference organizers you want to see more Xamarin talks, that you want me to give them. Little plug for myself there. And so NDC, Minnesota, 6th through 9th in May. Get right around the time of some of the big conferences like Build, WWDC, and Google I/O. Those typically go at the end of the month, end of May into June. So this is a nice one to get you started, get your mouth watering of what's coming, where we're currently at, and maybe see some cool stuff. And then definitely at the bigger ones is where all the new stuff is released. So that's my little plug for conferences. Like I said, if you're on the fence about just doing it. Apply to multiple, apply to a lot. Always consider budget and travel. If you can't get your company to sponsor you or help alleviate some of the costs, Some of these larger conferences like KCDC and I believe in DC, Minnesota do provide some lodging, so they will cover your hotel. Same thing for that conference. They cover your hotel, and that's one less budget thing. You just have to worry about travel at that point. And then even some of the other ones will give you maybe an allowance for little in-town travel. Dev up in St. Louis was offering 1 year a way that you could use Uber to get to and from the airport. Worked really well, convenient for me, because once I was at the hotel, I didn't need to go anywhere. Everything I wanted was there. It was perfect. India, some of the smaller ones like NWA Tech Fest, they can work with you on some of the local hotels and getting a discount. So there are ways. Just ask your conference organizers, ask them, see is there any help that they can provide, or if they have recommendations on where to stay. They could certainly give you all that, and they are the unsung heroes of conferences. There's a lot of people that go into making these conferences great, and like I said, I look forward to speaking again this year. It's something I've really started to enjoy over the past few years, and I really want to increase the number of conferences that I speak at, because I enjoy speaking to developers, hearing about their pain points, what they want to see improved, how can they improve themselves, and just getting feedback. As a speaker, if you're not learning something, I'm not doing my job, which means I need that feedback. So I need to know how to tailor my courses. Was it too easy? Was it too hard for the level of experience that the session said it was? So that kind of feedback's invaluable. So don't feel intimidated or anything. Just get out there and do it. All right. So, wow, 2 minutes in, we've already got some skipped frames. I have to work on my internet speed or figure out why my CPU is so high. I'll have to check on that later. I don't have very many things running on my streaming system, so maybe it's time for a reboot. But we're not going to do that now. We're going to get started back where we were. So where we left off last week. Let's get PowerShell open here. Yep, we want to start PowerShell. Oh, that's small, isn't it? Let's bump those fonts up here. All right, font 28. Let's try 24. I don't want to blow everything out of the water. All right, hopefully you all can see that. I'm going to bump the font up here on this. There we go. This is for you folks in the future. Be able to hopefully see this on the video, especially if you're watching on smaller devices like phones. It's something I like to do every now and then, especially when I'm out. I watch these. I have several other people streaming that I like to see that I can't always watch because work stuff gets in the way or family stuff. So being able to watch it on demand, being able for you to watch it on whatever device you are and read, that's one of my goals. So if you're in the chat room, you ever see something too small, things I need to do to improve the stream, please let me know. You can head over to my site, which you're going to see my awesome web skills here. No, just kidding. Pretty simple. I could use some input, some insight, and some help on this if somebody wants to help me improve this to make it look better. But if you ever want to know more about the stream, you can head over to onyxprime.github.io. I got a live streaming section. Here's the Twitch link, and here's the YouTube, the video on demand. So always go check it out there, or follow me on Twitter. I always post these once I get them uploaded to YouTube after the fact. So. All right, so where we were last week, we were working on the rundown portion, which, hey, I don't have it running. It's got a yellow box there, so hey, let's fix that. Let's step out here real quick. Maybe that's one reason why my frames... All right, I don't care about you, but I do want to run PowerShell. I'll bump this over here, bring this back up. To know where we started, we did start here at github.com/ there we go, C# Fritz. Fritz StreamTools. So Mr. Jeffrey Fritz is another streamer. He does a lot of live coding. He is I think his title now is community manager at Microsoft. So he does a lot of involvement with the development community in open source as well as enterprise. And so he is now doing a lot more streaming, a lot more showing us what we can do with .NET, helping improve .NET by making libraries. He's working on a Stream Deck, which is a handy little tool that makes streaming a lot easier. Allows me to do some cool things like play some sounds like... Just do it! Yes, that's right. That was Shia LaBeouf. Or we just need some more power. We talked to Tim Allen.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. So Sweet Mama Brown. Mama? Sweet Georgia Brown. That's who it is. So a little kit allows me to do all this kind of stuff. Change scenes left and right, back and forth with just a push of a button. So he's creating an open source SDK. Not an SDK, an open source .NET implementation of the SDK to be used with the Stream Deck tools, the Stream Deck SDK. So they open sourced it. They exposed, all their APIs, tell you how you can develop it. He's creating an easy way for .NET developers to create their own plugins for the Stream Deck and do that talk back and forth using C#. They're working on a .NET template or a Visual Studio template. That way you can just, I want a new Stream Deck extension, I think extension is what he's calling it. So we're going to be working on his StreamTools, though. He has a lot of StreamTools that he's built that allows him to show this stuff on his stream, and as you can see, it is not there. So we're going to does have a lot of good stuff, information about it here. He does give us a way to easily, once we pull it down, how we can build it and run it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will probably see some more skip frames here in just a second as Docker actually tries to do some things. So hopefully it's not going to get too jumpy on you. I've been told in the past that things get jumpy. The video freezes. My voice keeps going. Audio is great, but the transcoding, whatever's the rendering's being done on my machine and pushing it up to Twitch kind of slows down. Oh, one thing you always got to remember, you always have to go to the tools or to the directory where this is run. So what did I call this? I think I called it dev stream here. I know you can't see this. My apologies. I'm going to be quick. And let's try my little command here again. Yep, looks like it's working now, and I'm expecting to see a lot more DOP frames. Again, my apologies, but well, hopefully it'll build quick, and I don't have to worry about it. And once that gets built and running, you should see it pop in over there. So what we're doing, and I can show you now here. So let's get down here. Go to my development machine here. There we go. All right, there's the Fritz StreamTools. One more directory in. All right. And let's shrink this down just a little bit so when things get to the bottom, they don't fall off. All right, if this is your first time joining us, over here is right here. What this is telling me, this is actually Git integration built into PowerShell using PoshGit. They have an installer built, so if you just Google PoshGit or DuckDuckGo, if you can find an instance of web crawler out there, which is what I used way back in the day. Just a hint, I'm old. So I was around when I wasn't really around when the internet was created, but I was around when it became mainstream. I used dial-ups. I used bulletin board systems prior to the internet, or BBSs, if you remember those. If you do hit me up, we can have some great talks. I tried to run my own. My parents had a little issue with me consuming the phone lines in the evenings. So it didn't run for very long. It was just a fun side project for me. All right. Let's see if I refresh this control. Can I refresh it? If I hide it and I show it again, does it show up? Yeah, I wonder if it actually... Oh, there it is. All right, so you can see there. So you can see that agenda, that tool over there, that agenda. That is what the StreamTools provide us. It's a way for me to be able to provide an agenda, a timeline, of things we're going to do on the stream. So here you can actually see what the issue is. The issue is it's static content. Meaning if I want to change it, I have to actually take my Docker containers down, change the CS file, the repo that's actually producing this content, because it's all static in there, and then restart it. What we were doing now is we're adding the ability to change it live. So I can run that exact same Docker compose here. And we'll get to see it's building here, and we'll get to see where we left off last time. Come on, internet, don't fail me now. Surprisingly enough, when that Docker container came up on my streaming machine, my frame rate did not drop that much. Or at all during that time, which is pretty good. So this stream's actually being run and hosted from a Microsoft server, but not really hosted because Twitch is actually doing the hosting. But I'm pushing it up from a Surface Book. It does have the performance base on it, so it is a little beefier. It's Core i7. 16 gig of memory sounds right. I definitely want to get something with a little bit more oomph later, a little bit more power. Yes. And so this stream is right now being fully funded by myself. So what we see and what we do is comes from that, from my budget. And so I do have a finance consultant I work with, aka my wife, and we work together. And she understands why I like doing this. She's a very, very supportive of what I'm doing, and so I try to be as frugal as I can. I don't want to say cheap because we don't want to buy cheap stuff. We want to buy stuff that meets the needs. And so if you go to my Twitch stream, go down, there's a donation page. If you want to help me out, all money that gets donated goes toward either projects we work on, maybe purchasing some IoT devices, it's an IoT hardware, to helping me improve the stream, either by start building a budget and building up a new machine, a streaming machine, or like I said, other ways to help improve this stream. So if you want to do that, hit the donation button. By no means is it required, but all right. So we've got it built. It's actually running. This version of it's running here. We do a Docker PS to see where our container's running. So we're running on localhost 32768 over port 80. That's our internet port. So let's go check it out here. Oh, we need to preface that with, and we are doing HTTPS. I think I need, maybe, let's try it like this. Localhost /admin. There we go. All right, so that's it. So for here, it is running HTTPS, but we are forwarding it over. And this part called rundown. All right. Let's pull this out real quick here. We want to view that here. All right, I think that's big enough you can see. So what we've got here is on the right side over there. Wow, do that. On the right side over there, you have the rundown tile. So the actual rundown page, this is what actually gets displayed down below here. That's what's actually, it's just a website that we pull in and we display down here. And then we look at the stuff on the left is the actual admin side. So that's actually how I can hit the click button here. And in just a few seconds, 5 seconds is what we have our delay set to. It's going to show up on the other side there. You can see it automatically checked it. So that allows me to actually check these, and you'd come into the stream and see kind of what we've done, where we're at, and where we're going. Now, one of the things that we didn't have before, like I said, it was all static text. So what we did last time was we made the title adjustable. So this is going to be our, not rundown title, but let's change it. You can see it's actually updating on me. StreamTools updates. So it'll eventually, within 5 seconds, it'll come back over there. And so there we go. We've got that. So the next thing we want to do. Sorry, I just appeared there. I had to get my water bottle cap. I really don't want that spilling all over this equipment. My wife would be a little livid if I did that. There's too much money sitting on this desk for me to just pour liquid all over it. A lot of electronics. So we want to be able to edit these. So we want to be able to edit not only add new things and remove items, we also want to be able to edit their text. And so that's what we're going to work on next. So let's come on over here and come back here to PowerShell. I want to clear here. We are going to use, so last time I used Visual Studio 2017 because I didn't have Visual Studio 2019 installed. That has now been rectified. Visual Studio 2019 preview. So I am running preview 2 here. Again, one of these parts of these streams is I want to talk about new technologies that are out there, new dev tools that can make you as a developer more productive. Let's get rid of that. Remove from list. Remove from list. All right. And so I want to try out some of the new tools, see how they work for us. And so we're going to try and use some of the latest stuff here. Visual Studio 2019, this is Preview 2. If you're still running on Preview 1, go ahead and get Preview 2. Go out to visualstudio.com or .microsoft.com and hit download. Or once you load up a project here, like we're going to load up our StreamTools, you'll have the flag. So one of the things about Visual Studio 2019 that I'm going to show you real quick, your title bar has completely changed. So in 2017, let's go ahead and do that. Let's load up 2017 so we can take a look. Again, part of this thing is learning about what's changing in the tools that you're using. And right now is actually the perfect time to test these out because you get input. They want to hear your feedback. A lot of the stuff that they're doing has been taken from previous feedback that they've received and their attempts to try and take that and make those changes. It's up to us as developers to let them know when they're doing it right and when they've done it wrong. We are a very opinionated group, if you haven't noticed. So, check one thing here real quick. Yep, okay. All right, yep. Got to make sure Mrs. O is happy. She's the one that... She's my better half. And that is has never been a truer sense of the phrase. She's what makes me better. So I want to make sure that she's taken care of and she's happy. So if you're a developer out there, you're married, got a girlfriend, remember that person, that your other half, your better half usually, they are the ones that help support you, keep you motivated, keep you going, and keep you doing what you do. And I love my wife. Thank you so much for what you do for us and our family. All right. So let's look at it here. So back to our, yeah, I know, a little sappy there, Ryan.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, everybody's got time for a little sappy. So, all right. So here we've got on your right, on your left, we've got Visual Studio 2019 preview. On your right, we have Visual Studio 2017. As you can see, our title bar has changed. So they've taken all this space, which was pretty much dead space here. See all that? There's nothing there. And they've moved your context menu up, your drop-down menus up to try and fill that space. So I actually like that. I've actually heard feedback, heard them get feedback that there's a lot of developers that don't like that. One of the things they're considering is making it configurable. So if you are for making it configurable, go out to user voice. I think it's uservoice.visualstudio.com, or hit the, where is it? You got it. Here we go. Send feedback right here. Suggest a feature, report a problem, anything like that if you're using the new stuff, and say, hey, I don't like that. Make it configurable. And it might be an option that we get. So if you apologize for the little bar up there at the top, that is, I'm actually running in a remote desktop. I'm using 2 machines because Visual Studio running on my streaming machine, being a Surface Book, it cannot quite handle that much stuff going on. So you're going to see that when I get to the top, you'll see that bar pop out every now and then. That's just my remote machine where we do all our work. So you can see they've taken care of that. But before, when you wanted to update, you get this nice little flag here. It says, hey, update these products. And you go do that. That's moved. So they've tried to take some of this information that was up here, and they've actually moved it down here to the bottom. As you can see, got a little bit more information, but I do have my notifications down here. So that's where that new notifications has gone. It's gone from the top down to the bottom. Personally, I'm happier. Now, that being said, it's when something new is I need to check on, it's not quite in my face enough. So you know what? I'm going to send some feedback here. I wish there was another option here. So I want another option here called give feedback, or because I'm not suggesting a new feature. Maybe it is. I don't know. On the back end, you can handle it that way. But for me, I just want to provide some feedback. I don't want to suggest a new feature. It's not a problem. It's just my input on it. So we're going to do suggest a new feature here. Whoa. That's in your face. First, I want you to search here. So let's see, Visual Studio 2019. Oh, no. Notifications for updates. VS 2019. See if there's anything related to that. Let's see what we got here. So these are updates. Notifications not received. I'm getting notifications. I do get the notifications. Nope. All right. So is it going to make me sign in? It may. It's just a feature for Visual Studio. It's going to say, hey, I want to know something about you. I want you to log in. Welcome back, Ryan Overton. It knows who I am. Hey. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Do I want them knowing me? Yeah, I do. I want to be able to make things better. If they don't know who I am, they can't make things better for me. All right. So, VS 2019 preview 2 notification. What do you want to call that? You know, when it gives you that. We want to say update notification. Let's do that. Update notification. All right. Let's see, anything. So I'm gonna preface it. I do like the new location of the notifications icon, but let's see, it isn't. How do I say that? I want to be nice about it because I do like it, but it isn't pronounced enough. Pronounced. Let's go back to that. Words are hard. When a new update is ready, isn't pronounced enough. It isn't / in your face enough when a new update is ready. And that's really what it comes down to. Need a way, whether it be a toast notification when you first load it up or one that you have to actually simply dismiss. Maybe a toast notification when you first load up the IDE that you have to explicitly close. Maybe. We see that in Visual Studio Code. It pops up there. Sometimes you have to click close. Sometimes you can say, hey, don't ever notify me about this again. I'll update it when I darn well please. Have to explicitly close, or say never show again. Maybe it already does that. I've not seen it, so it wasn't working for me. So let's go ahead. Let's post our feature here. And we'll see what they say. You know, hopefully they take the feedback, they'll make it better. All right. So one of the other things you saw when you first started up 2019, it looks much different than this. So what they're doing is they're trying to let you get in there, get things loaded up faster without having to load up the entire IDE. Make sure I get that right. The entire IDE. Because we want to get in and we know what we want to do. And so if we don't have to load up certain things, we don't want to load up certain things. So those are just some of the things I've noticed up front with it. We'll go back. We'll get big here. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. So let's get back to it. So what are we working on today? That's right. That's right. We want to make these editable. So, all right. I'm going to pick up right where we left off. I'm going to go ahead and let's just close all documents. Start fresh. Come back in here. All right. So we are working in the StreamTools library. We are working on the rundown. Specifically, we're working on the admin page. Okay. So we have our, oh, yes, and bump that up. There we go. That should be big enough, I hope. Oh, undo that. Whoa. Maybe that. All right, let's go ahead and let's hide our tests here. Gonna hide that. All right, that should be big enough for you. Again, if you're in the chat room, say hi. Let me know you're here. And if it's not big enough for you, hey, go ahead and let me know and I'll make it bigger. But I think that's big enough. So we've got the title. This is actually the title of the page. So maybe we should do that too. Let's go ahead and so we got the title. Here's our new input for the title. Takes the @ title. So from our model. Do have a repository. We'll be visiting that. I did have some ideas on how we can improve that. And we have our JavaScript down here, which this function here just goes out every part of this one here, which is a closure. It goes out every 5 seconds. Where'd it go? No, I take that back. So this is the admin. So this doesn't automatically check for updates because it's doing the updates. The actual other side of it, the actual the rundown page, the actual display piece, that goes out every 5 minutes and checks for things. So what we do here is we're just updating it. So now we have, this is an input. So really what we want to change now is we have an input here and it has some text. So what we want to do is we want to make this checked. We want to make this, instead of just plain text, we want to make it an input. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to, just for my own readability here, I want to save that because I'm going to use it here in a second. There we go. And input, turn caps lock off, class. We're just using this class so we know how to, basically an easier way for us to interact with it in JavaScript. So we're going to give it a class name called item. Why not? That sounds good to me. And then we want type is text. And our value is going to be at item.text. All right. So first thing I want to do is I'm actually going to go in and shut the Docker container down. Simply because rebuilding all that with Docker is going to be a lot slower than just running it from the from Visual Studio. So Docker compose down. If you're not used to Docker commands, this is using Docker compose, which allows me to run multiple containers at a time. So really when I want to take something down, I just do Docker compose down and it takes down all the containers that were associated with this compose file. And if I look at my Docker PS, nothing's running anymore, which is just what it's expected. All right. Oh. Let's come back over to Visual Studio. I'm going to run an IIS Express here. By the way, if you have or want to make any improvements to this is out in GitHub under Dev's Garage. And I'll put that on my webpage as well as in the Twitch information down here and also on YouTube. Takes me back to it. If you're watching this from the future, thank you for taking time out of your day, out of your life to check us out. I really appreciate it. If you want to know more, let me know. Go to my website, contact me, Twitter, email, LinkedIn, however, Twitch. Say something in the chat room. Let me know if there's something you want to see. If you want to know when I post a new video, hit the subscribe button down below. And that way you'll just get notified every time I put some new content out, and you won't have to just monitor Twitter or anything. I like it because I get notifications on my phone. Now, some people don't like it, but I do like to see when some of my favorite streamers post their videos on demand, especially when I can't watch the stream because of other events, other life events, work, family. So hit that subscribe button. If you're following on Twitch, if you're in the chat room, hey, hit that follow button down below. Or above. I think it's above. I think it's up there. Over there, I think. Right over there. Hit the heart. Follow me. If I get enough followers, we'll get to where I can do some subs. I can start putting some, hopefully, emotes out there. Maybe I can do that now, and I have not had time to create some. I got some ideas for some cool little icons you can use in your Twitch streams. For some subscribers, and so we'll start to look at some of those. But hit follow, hit subscribe. I do appreciate it. We do get some added benefits as our viewership goes up. So the more followers we get, the more we get to the more benefits we get to provide you, the viewer. All right. So here we have the actual stream information. We want to go to our. So we care about our admin page right now. All right, so there we go. Oh, look at that. There it is. It's editable. Boom. All right. But that's not wide enough, is it? So we need to go change it. All right. I should have marked that because I don't like using Edge really for my web stuff. I can actually change it. I don't actually want it bringing up. All right. So we're going to use Chrome. So I'm just going to note that port the next time around. So we do want to provide a class. Now, I don't know that we actually have any CSS pages defined for this yet. I want to make sure we're following the same style that Jeff and his crew that have been maintaining and working on these projects, same style. They don't want to put my own in there unless it's something that hasn't been done yet, because this is their project. I'm just a contributor to it. So they really set the rules. I just follow them, whether I like them or not. If I want to be a contributor, I need to make sure I do that. All right. I don't see any style sheets in here, which that's okay. They've been defined up here. They're actually defined in the page itself. We may fix that. I don't know yet. So, item, oh, not what I wanted. Item. Dot item. There we go. Did you notice that? The IntelliSense has gotten much better in 2019. Because I don't know if that would have done it in 2017. I don't do a lot of web stuff, especially like this. I do a little bit differently. I do actually a lot of front-end frameworks. But that is cool. I like that. I love IntelliSense. I love the help whenever I can get it. All right. So width, let's say 300 pixels. Does that sound good to you guys, gals? Trying to get my pronouns right, trying to be more inclusive. I know when I say guys, it's actually, I'm saying both men and women, trying to fix that, because I know some people don't like it, and I want to make sure I am very respectful of both men and women in the development community. So, if everyone likes it, if anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. Let's go check it out. All right, so I want to do that. Specifically 33,163. Let's come over here to these. 33,163. There we go. Let's just take that. Come over here. Oops, don't want to save, but I do want to go. There we go. All right. So 33,163 is where we're running from. I'm pretty sure it's going to stay that way for the life of this project. Don't need to worry about it. I do need to get, they have this thing called Karnak that captures keyboard and displays it on, it's an open source project that displays it to the stream, lets you know the keys that I'm pressing. So you can see kind of some of my shortcuts I use. So that's one of the stream improvements. Let me take that down here. Stream improvements. Set up Karnak. All right. Back to it. All right, so that didn't quite work. All right. Let's come over here. Where is, oh, hey. Outside my dev machine. There we go. All right, back to our, okay. So save that. I should be able to refresh. That's better, but we want to make it. Do I care? Do I care when it's because it's editing? No, not right now. Make it work, make it right, make it fast. That's what the principles we're going on this. That's the principles we're going to make this stuff. All right. So we got that working. Next thing we got to do is when we update it, we need to send that information back. So we're actually already doing that with this check item. So whenever it updates, it is capturing that. It's taking all that information and is sending back. And basically what it's doing is just, this is for the check mark. So what we want to do is we want to tie into this and we want to update it for the text. So let's go do that. So that's when the check item happens, because we don't want to tie into that event, but we do want to tie into. We'll do something similar to what we did with the title. So, and let's change this to item text. I want to update that and that. Be a little bit more specific and descriptive when we do this. So, dot item text dot on, and so we want on input. And so the reason we're doing this instead of change, because I don't want it on when it goes on blur. So if you do it with the change, it actually won't fire this until it leaves the cell. At least for the time being, we're going to make it on demand. So whenever we make the update, we're going to push it. Whenever we change a letter, change anything about it, it's going to get pushed. Right now, that I kind of like that. We may change it in the future, but at least for right now, that's the direction we're going to go. So input, now we need to provide a function. IntelliSense. Oh, this is so much better. Thank you, Visual Studio team. I'm loving this. Oh, no, that's what I want. You need to be down here. Is that right? Why are you giving me the... Oh, there it goes. Perfect. All right. So, let's call it say text equals this. Give us a little bit of debugging information. So whenever we're debugging this, we can see what is going on. Right. And we need an AJAX method here. It's asynchronous callback methods here. Asynchronous Java. See, now I'm going to have to look it up because I think you all deserve to know what AJAX stands for, and I need to be better at knowing what that actually means, because it is an acronym. Why do we use AJAX? What is it called? Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. I knew that, but I didn't know that, at least right now. So basically what it means is I don't have to do a post back. I don't have to do a page post back in order for it to go out and update the information on the server or retrieve new information on it. Allows me to, on certain events, to basically fire that off, get information back, update the page if I want, or just let the user know if the update failed for whatever reason. So we're going to do our AJAX call here. By the way, I am looking for some stream music. If you are a music composer or someone who wants to get their music out there, please let me know. I want to find stuff that is not copyrighted. One of the things I found when watching streamers is sometimes if the monitoring system that Twitch has on there in reruns, basically rerunning the stream, if for whatever reason it recognizes you have copyrighted music, some DRM'd music, it will cut the audio out of your stream for that period of time. And it's really annoying when you try and go watch that later and you don't hear anything. And you get that little notification at the bottom that says some of this audio has been removed due to copyright infringement. So if you've got anybody that you know that is producing some music that wants to get it out there, that just wants it to be known, be heard, hey, let me know. I'm looking for some good stream music. I like all kinds of music, techno, rap, hip-hop, country. I used to not say that, be able to say that, but with my wife, I've broadened my horizons, and, you know, being from Oklahoma, I should like country, but I didn't for the longest time, and I do now. So, any country, any kind of music, classical, let me know. I'd love to get something going on in the background. Helps fill a little bit of the dead air when I don't have anything to say. So, all right. So, JSON.stringify. So basically what we're doing is we're just stringifying our JSON object here, and we're going to say text.value. So I want the value of that input box. Data type. We want to pass back JSON. Content type. We are passing them, telling them, hey, we're sending you some text and it's in JSON format. Boom. All right. So the method I use is a put because I'm actually updating something that already exists. If it was going to be something new, when we get to actually adding items, I'm going to use a post there. Or if I'm just getting information, I'll use the get verb. So this method is actually the HTTP verb I want to use. Post, put, get, I think delete is the other one. So basically your CRUD operations. Create, read, update, delete. I'm going to try and let you know what the acronyms mean that you're going to hear a lot of developers use. Because I know getting started, I play like, yeah, I know what's going on. And behind the scenes, I'm sitting there on my phone and I'm Googling like, okay, what does CRUD mean? So if you ever want to know an acronym, what it is, what it means, let me know. I do have a military background. So the military is full of acronyms, a lot of acronyms. And so is the tech industry. So I was kind of used to acronyms. I was also kind of used to acting like I know what I'm talking about, acting like I know what you mean. I can deduce a little bit from the context and the information you're telling me, kind of what you're talking about, but I never knew what the acronyms truly stood for. And so I had to go look them up. But now I'm going to help you out by letting you know what I know, what I've learned. And you can help me know what you've learned. All right. I put title here, and this isn't title. This is going to be item. And so we're going to do a little bit of the same thing here. So this does item to update. So we want to take a little bit of this logic that it figured out. And so we want to go get the parent. And we actually want the parent's parent, because before it was the checkbox. Now we want the parent of our parent. So we want to too far. Not there, Ryan. That's not where we want to do it. Let me collapse this. Because what we want to do is we want to make sure we can pass back the item we're changing, and that way we can change it in our repository behind the scenes. So var this item, this list item. Let's say that equals this item dot parent. All right. Let's move on down. So now that we've got that, so this is just sending back. We want to do something a little like this. So we're going to call item to update. Oh, wait, look at this. Well, that's cool. I think this is actually doing it. Got everything ready for me. All right. You know what? that. Okay. What I'm trying to see is I can actually refactor up here to send the item and the information I want by using this exact same method. Don't reinvent the wheel, but make sure you follow good patterns and refactor when necessary. All right, so what we're going to actually do is we're going to extract some information here. We're going to create a new method here. This is going to let me... So did our stuff get smart enough that it can extract a method from JavaScript? Nope, doesn't look like it. You know what? That's okay though. We're going to create a var update list item function, and it is going to be a function that takes in an item to update. And does this. Okay. That makes sense. And what we want to do here, pretty much the same thing here. Is this? Yeah, I'm going to copy this. So I think this is going to be what I want to do here. I'm just going to get rid of this. All right, item to update. Update list item. And it wants an item to update. This dot item parent. Parent. I'm pretty sure I want the parent's parent here on this. I took it out of here. We're going to do here date list item to update. All right, I think that works. Not running an IIS here. Let's test it out. Let's make sure it works. And if it does, I think we're very close to getting this piece done. I don't care about you. I don't want that. What I do want is not that. That's the rundown. I want the admin. So let's refresh here. All right, I am going to open my developer tools because I do want to see what's going on in the log. Nice. Okay. It's my console, sources. Let's check our checked event real quick. Make sure that still works. No. What didn't? I bet my copy and paste. Yeah, that's what it is. So this log information does still need to, but I wonder. No, because it threw up there. All right, no problem. Let's remove that. Nice thing about this, there is no real compilation with it, so I just save it, reload the page, and we can continue on. All right, so you're still there. All right, let's refresh our page here. Bring up our console. I'm going to go ahead and clear out the console. I want to make sure I know what I'm looking at. Okay, fired off. Everything looked right. Let's go look at our... Yep, all right, so that works. Let's check streams title 2. Oh, this item is not defined. Did I use a different variable name? I copy and paste it, and this list item. Yeah, this item. Yeah, that doesn't work because when I copied it from up here, that was called this item. And down here, it's called text. what happens when you get in a hurry and do copy and paste. That's why we test things. I know every developer thinks their stuff is right. It is the bomb. You can't make mistakes. Whoa, oops. Do a hard reload here. What's going on here? Interesting. Very interesting. Let's go look at our localhost/admin. This item not defined. This list item, this list item. It's text.parent. Let's look at our JavaScript real quick. Sources. Oh, look at that. Yep. So this uses this item doc check. So we are going to need a this item. All right. Because it is wanting to get the text here, the checked piece. So again, copy and pasting. You think things are right, things will be smooth, and they're not really, but it's okay. Var this item equals text dot parent. Okay, that is a method, and we can do this item dot parent here. Let's check it out. All right. Yeah, I think I know what the problem is with that. I think it's because basically because we actually did make the call, it sent nothing. All right. What do I want to do? I didn't get anything in the console. Nothing showing up here yet. All right, so did that update? So item is equal to text.parent. If I do this, it's because we are getting some, so I need to put in some logging here. I need to figure out what's going on. Where are we failing? All right. So let's add a little console logging here so we know what's going on. Console.log. It says this. Let's do text. Console.log. Let's look at this item. Console.log. Let's look at and copy and paste this, because that's what we want. That's kind of the same information we want. Okay, let's refresh. Well, that's interesting. We're going to, what is, let's try this again. That didn't look right. Okay. Let's come here, look at VS. So it doesn't show I'm attached, but it is running down here. Very interesting. So VS 2019 is, it loaded up IIS, it loaded up IIS Express is running it, but it's not attached as a debugger. Because I click that, it should let me debug this. Well, that's not good. But we want to test here. Oh, look at that. We got some information here. Let's go look at it. That did not update. Now that may not update like what I think. It's okay if it doesn't. What I really am concerned about is if I hit refresh. Ah, it inserted an item in there. Okay, so looking down here, all this information, there's nothing in there. Okay, oh, even in here now. So I wonder what happens if I click that. What happens over here? Does anything happen here? Just refresh it. Yeah, an empty space there. So we do need to adjust some of this. Just let's come back over here because it's going to provide me a little bit of information I'm looking for. Because really what we need here is, so because this is now an input item. It's not just text anymore. Can I do? I'm pretty sure I could do this dot val. Because this should give me the first child of this item. So this one we want. Yeah, I could do here text.val and be safe. All right, so let's redo this. All right. Look at that. Hey, it's debugging now. I'm not sure what happened last time. That's okay. That is okay. Let's refresh this. Okay, there's that. Let's go to my tools here. I want to clear all this because I want to. Well, yeah, hey, that's right. That's cool. Not. But that one worked. But the ID is undefined. Okay, so we're getting close here. So I bet if I refresh, look at that. I got a new entry with stream titles. So a little bit of work here to do. So property val is not valid. So let's stop here real quick. All right, so I'm gonna look at this item. It's that. Text is now going to be children. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, wait, that's this list item. Let's, yeah, so if I use this item, which is the checked item, and I look at its children, it doesn't have anything. Is that okay? Yeah. For the time being, it's okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We'll go fix this real quick. Again, that should work there. checkbox. That's the checkbox. Okay, so that's what it is. The checkbox. It's not the actual. Got it. Understand it. Okay. I think. Oh, no, I don't need to stop. Don't stop, Ryan. Just refresh. Actually, you know what? I do want to stop, and I want to restart. So I just want to clear out that bad data. If you're in the Midwest, please be careful. It is cold outside. It is not as cold here in Oklahoma as it is in some of the other places up north, so please be safe. It's very dry here, though. My sinuses are killing me. Let's come on over here. Very dry. Drying everything out. Lips, hands, sinuses. Oh. Refresh. Okay. Come over to our tools here. Let's clean that out. Okay. So let's check. Go ahead and let it run. No. Let's set it back. There we go. All right. This item, children, item 1. Okay. So why is that not working? Because val should be this list item dot children 1 Okay. And if I do dot val, let's try that again. So that's going to give me the children is a method, not a so that gives me that item. So why doesn't it? So it says dot value. Okay, well, interesting. Stop that for a second here. So item dot children. Does that work? Let's check it out. Interesting. Okay, so children is obviously, it's a method. Giving you the list of children, and then basically it's returning an array, and so then we're indexing. So this item is this list item. So this is the li, getting the children of that li, and then just a method gives me an array of all the children, and then we're going to item 1 in the array. It's a zero-based index, so it's actually the second item in the array, and I want the value of that element. Okay. Let's check that out. Okay, I don't care about that. I do want to refresh here. Refresh that. Let's look at clear here. We just want to get our checked piece working. So, going to step over that. So that seems to have worked. If we look at what item to update is, contains all the information I expected it to contain. So if we continue on, okay. So if we come over here to our rundown page, do it updated. If I undo it, it's going to stop again, but I want to just remove that breakpoint and let it keep going. And it undid it. So there, gets checked and unchecked. Gets unchecked. There we go. All right, cool. Let's try this one now. I'm going to go ahead and clear my console here just to remove all the extraneous information. I'm just going to update this. Show title. Okay. Let's come over here real quick. Just curious. I can hit refresh to force it. Whoa. Come back over here. We're missing something. ID. We did not get the ID on this one. All right, so why not? So I wanted to get this item, so let's check out that. All right. So I wanted to get the attribute. Let's step over that real quick. All right, so I have this list item, which is the UL, not this. Is this the item, the li? Oh yeah, it's my misunderstanding of the actual DOM structure. So even within the LI, so I have an input, I have the checkbox, and then I have the input class here. Okay, so my total misunderstanding of the structure of the DOM, easy enough. Originally, whenever I set this up, I did not catch this right here. I thought this element here was actually contained inside the checkbox as basically the content inside of it, the text to display with it. And it's not. It's actually its own separate DOM element, which is fine. So we can make this work, you know. There, that helps me out a little bit, seeing it like that. Okay, let's go ahead and update this method here. I don't need that. It's actually going to be and I think that still works. Did I get, because I think I'm gonna have to do something different here because yep, that didn't work either. So okay, something similar we did up here. Let's come over here. I want to do a little bit of experimentation inside our element here. So this item dot children, two children. I want item 0 dot value. It says on. Is that what I want? There's no dot val. But I do checked. Checked is false. That's what we want. All right. So this is the command we want to run. Nothing like being able to use a live console there to make sure you get the value you need. And this is actually going to be this list item because we did update that name. Okay, refresh. I'm actually going to stop because I want to clear out the data, get it running again. Okay, go ahead and let you go through. Refresh that. Again, I'm going to stop this again. I had a little something extra going through there I didn't want. Just fine. Refresh that. Let's refresh that. Okay, we're back to basics here. Make sure our check mark works. Let me get rid of any breakpoints I have set in here. I want to get rid of them. I just want to run with it. Let's see, does it work? Check mark. Check, make sure that works. Does it show up? Yep, okay, that works. Is that going to work? That's the question. Because my guess is this just updates the check state and not the actual text. Now, it would be awesome if I did a refresh. Let's go look at our, oh, hey, hello. This item is not defined. Of course, Ryan. At console logging bit me. This list item. Okay. Good, refresh that. Let's refresh this one. Let's do a hard reload. Give us everything. All right, there we go. We're back. I'm happy with that. Let's remove that one. Come over here. I think that was the one we caught originally before. Yep, look, that came through. It's good. Let's look here. Let's refresh. If I refresh, it does. So what we're not getting is we're not getting that automatic update. All right. All good. All good. We're moving along. We're actually accomplishing our goal. So now we've got it to where we can update the text. Now we just got to get the text on this page to force update. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. Back to this tools here. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down for now. Now we want to go over to the rundown page. Let's go in here and let's look at our function here. So here we have our I think it's called a closure function. I'm not a JavaScript guy. I know enough to be very dangerous. A little bit more than that. But I understand what I'm doing. So I know enough to be dangerous, but I understand the consequences that come along with it. So I also know how to get myself out of it. Doing two things here. Basically, we're going in here. We're updating our get element by ID. So for the data we come back, we loop through the data, which is basically it's just getting all the items in there, and it's going through and each item, it's going to say if this item. So we're looping through here. We're looping through the data we get back from the API call, API/items. Then we go and get the document element. So the item in the list up here, document element that has the corresponding ID. So that gives us this. So we have this item. And then so we check if it's unchecked and item is completed. We go ahead and remove the unchecked class and we add the check class, which basically just check marks it for us. Else, if this item has the check and it is not completed, we remove it. We remove the check and add the unchecked. Okay? Do one little extra thing now. We want to go ahead and that's actually adding the class. Let's come back up here real quick. So we're going to go ahead and make this ID. I'm going to get item text underscore at item.id. So this is going to allow us basically to update the text. And we don't really want to check. We don't really need to check. We're just going to update it. because we'll have to go get it, then we'd have to compare it, then we'd have to just update it. Let's not overcomplicate the solution here. So next thing we want to do is var text item text. I like item text better. Equals document dot get element by ID item underscore text underscore plus item dot ID. And then we want to say item text dot inner text, because it is a label, so we want the inner text equals to item dot what do we call it? Item dot, I think it's description. Let's take a look at our class here. Our model, rundown item model, called it text. So close, yet so far. Item.text. That should give us the update we need. All right. Get it going again, get it up and running. Let's get back to our, clear out our dev tools here. I don't know that I'm going to need those because I know the update piece works. Let's refresh. Get our one over here, our actual rundown. So this is one we just updated. I'm actually going to, so I've got it. I'm actually going to take a look at its dev tools. So the thing I'm looking for here is, because we're on a 5-second timer, every 5 seconds it's going to make that call and then run through everything and update it. I'm not seeing any errors, which is a good thing, which means what I added at least didn't break it. So go ahead and minimize that. We're going to go test our check functionality to begin with. Check worked. Check another, make sure it still works. There we go. All right, let's do a text update here. Text update. There it goes. You saw it redone. So let's change this to welcome. Let's make welcome look correctly.
Just do it!
I got it. I've got it. I'll take care of it. All right. All right, so awesome. It's working. It's updating. That's perfect. It's what we want to do. I think that gets us almost there. We have a couple other things. I got one more thing I want to do. So I didn't really like the idea of having to worry about, am I editing the text versus checking and unchecking. So what I want to do is I want to put an edit button on here. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna put an edit button that puts us into edit mode, which hopefully you may be editing things live. Hopefully it's just something you do at the beginning or whenever you set this up. And then you just want to go into run mode, I guess. I don't have a better word for it, better terminology for it, but we'll go into run mode. All right. Not too terrible. Have some skip frames here. So just checking the settings. All right. So I want to do an edit mode, but I want to swap these out. So I want to put them back as labels until I want to edit. And when I edit, I want to put them into inputs. So let's check that out real quick. Hopefully that's not too terribly difficult. In my mind, it's not, but you know what? Everything I do in my mind is not terribly difficult, and that's where I get into trouble. All right, so back into here. Let's take it down for a second. All right, so and this is going to be going back to our admin because that's where we're doing all our admin stuff. So I want to put in here. I'm going to put in an edit button. So do I want that at the top? We're going to go, again, make it work, make it right, make it fast. So we're going to put in a button. Button. Is that right? Button. I guess we could do this. Edit. What is the buttons? So say clicked event. Is it not? I'm so used to working with divs and everything. I've forgotten what an HTML buttons firing event is. HTML button on click is it's on click. Let's try that. On click. There it is. And we want to call into create a function down here. Var we'll do some couple things here. So on edit. Whoa, edit. Click. Function. Don't really want to take anything in because I know what we're doing. I know where we did it. Okay. On click. Get some intelligence here. On edit. Click. Yes. All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to comment this out. And then I'm going to, I think before it was an H2. And we're going to say at title. Okay. We're going to test this out with just this one element, and then we'll go through and we'll come back to the list items. I only want to deal with one thing right now, and so the title will be it. But I'm going to give it a class of title. And so, all right. So on this one, I want to replace this element. So I want to get the element I want to replace. So we're going to, I need an ID here. Equals title. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go for that. So here we want to do document.get element by ID. I'm going to say title. Okay. I will rename this in a little bit. Not right now. We want to get it working. So that gives me that. Is that what I want? All right. Okay. I wonder. Document. Replace child. That's not what I want. All right. Looking at some jQuery stuff here. Because I want to replace an element here. Go to my friend Google here. HTML, JavaScript, replace element. How to replace an element with another element / text. That's what we want to do. But see, the thing is, I've got Okay, it can be anything. Get element by ID, target object, any element to be fully replaced if outer HTML. There we go. All right, so t.outer, that's it. Yeah, document, create element. All right, yeah, that's what we want to do. Okay, here we go. We want to create, we want to replace it with this. So I'm going to use tick marks because otherwise the double quotes would get in my way. Ooh, okay. But we want to replace this because I don't actually have that. Would that work? That would probably work in this instance, but it wouldn't work when we get down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the text from here. We'll call this current title. Take that, replace that. And I'm going to plus okay, there's that one plus. All right, and so I wanted to get my current title dot. Oop, I don't need the ticks there. Current title dot. Is it val or is it value? Let's try value. Yeah, because it is the current element. Okay, so I think that works there. The other thing I want to do is I want to keep track of whether I'm in what state I'm in. And so, all right. Need another variable here. Could call it edit state equals false. We'll start off, we're not always editing, okay? All right, so always want to get the current title if edit state. We're going to replace it with the H2. Otherwise, we are replacing it with that. There we go. Okay. All right, there's that. I'm then going to have to tie into that with this title. Work on that one step at a time, okay? I was going to say edit state equals true. Here, edit state equals false. Okay, we want to then change. We want to change the current of that. We want to change it to the H2. That. That plus that. I'm going to say current title dot value because I think that still works. I think that still does what we want it to do. All right, so let's test it out now. And then we'll get into wiring up our events because that's the next thing will have to happen. Which I don't think that'll be too terribly difficult. This didn't talk about wiring up anything, but we're going to refresh that. There's that. All right, so there we go. So now if we hit edit, let's go. Did that explode on us? did it not just find anything at all? And does it actually get in there? Edit, edit, edit. On edit, click. Let's look at that. Does that actually have to be HTML button on click? Let's look at that. Yeah, I was thinking that a little bit. It is a method call, so it does need the open close paren. Easy enough to change. We don't have to restart. There we go. There's that. Our button on edit click. All right, so on edit click, refresh, Ryan, refresh here. Okay, so if I hit edit, hey, there it goes. Run it through, and it's undefined. Why is it undefined? Edit, let's check it out. Okay, so that's why, because there's no ID by that. All right. Okay, go ahead and let that go through. That's fine. Okay, come down here. Don't know that I need that class of title anymore. So we're going to save it as that. Let's refresh. There we go. Edit. Current title is currently undefined. That's because we haven't set it yet. There we go. Okay. Our edit state is currently false. Our current title dot value is undefined. Current. All right. So let's give us a chance to current title dot val. Nope. Dot inner text. There it is, inner text. That's what we want to use. All right. Dot inner text. Oh. This one may still be correct. Let's check it out, though. Let's see. Did I save? Nope. Got to save in order to get your changes. All right. Let's refresh. Okay. Come back over here. I want to clear this out. I want to remove all the. There we go. Edit. It's that. That. So we look at our outer HTML now. Okay, that looks right. I like that. Okay, whoo! There we go. Now if we turn the edit off, okay. Current title, does it have something in it? Perfect, perfect. If edit state, which is set to true, okay, we are in editing mode. So I lose current title.value. Yep, because it is an input, it does have the value. And it replaced it. There we go. All right. We do notice it did something. That's due to the fact that I'm using a div, an H2, instead of just like the input element before. That's the H2 has a little bit of styling that comes along with it. And that's why you see it jump down and around. It's okay, we can fix that, but that's one thing. So if I do this now though, okay, so if I look over at my rundown title here, this is most likely not going to work. So if I look back here, yeah, I didn't actually get any calls to update. If I look down here, I refresh, never updated. All right, so now we just got to go solve that one piece there. Then we'll work on little bit of styling, and then we'll probably be done for the day. And then next week we'll get back into adding and removing items from this list. And then that should be, other than maybe a little bit of styling tweaks, that'll be done. So let's get this done faster. Get everyone back to what they were doing. Okay, I do have a couple of errands I have to go run, but then work kind of wants me to do some work too, I'm pretty sure. So, all right. So we do need to, now we're into this. So we do have an input. We want to current dot. We want to add an event here. Basically, we want to, do I have it on? Let's come back, because I don't really know how to do that. Once I have the document element, HTML, document element, add event. Event listener. So I want to add an event listener. Oh, there it is. Add event listener on, and then, pretty simple, right? I wonder if I replace the HTML, does the event listener go away? I don't know. And we're going to do on, and then we want to, so we will probably take this. Going to create another function here. And call it our title change. Yes, I'm going to take this whole thing. Call this title change. Our title change equals that. Okay. Come on, work with me here. All right. Now, do I need the parens here? Because it's a function call. Let's look at this. Add a listener display date. This is the function. Function alert hello world. Yeah. Yep, nope. So it doesn't look like I need it. All right. I wonder. And this is going to be title change. There. And because that is still that element, we're going to actually remove the event listener here because we don't want that on there anymore. This is going to be probably a single. Okay, I think that works. All right. Let's keep it going. Did I stop it? Looks like I stopped it. All right, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Refresh. It's the same. There's our dev tools. Let's go look at our admin here. Okay. So I know what that's going to do. Our edit title change is not defined. Pretty sure it is defined up here, right? Did I spell something wrong? You know, let's go back to this. HTML. that, add that, come down here real quick. Function, my function. Okay, maybe I have to do this just a little bit different than what I did the other way. I wonder if I have to add this now because simply because of the way I defined it. Let's do a refresh. Clear this out. Title changes not defined. Var title change. Ah, that's why, because it's in the onReady event. Let's go ahead and pull that out. And get rid of that. Because I defined it there. It's in the scope of the onReady event, this function, not in the scope of the entire JavaScript block. So let's come down here. Go ahead and define that there. And I'll reorganize this JavaScript in a second. All right. That should allow that to work now. Refresh that, that's fine. Admin, and with the tools, clear that out. Refresh this. Okay. Edit. Titles. Refresh that, refresh that. That didn't fire, so that event did not fire whenever. I added event listener to the on. Oh. All right, take this back. Input. Because that's what I had it as, right? Title input. Let's look at this real quick. So that's saying I want to add a click. Add an event handler. Add event listener. Remove event listener. That's the mouse move. Input. All right, let's try that. Nothing like experimentation. I did save. All right, so edit. That worked. Titles. That doesn't look like it did it still. So I'm not seeing any network calls to it. All right. We need to learn a little bit more about these event listeners. So that's mouse if over mouse. Let's click. Let's get a little bit more explicit here. Add event listener on. Nope. On change. Yeah, that's on click. I don't want to do it on click. I want to do it on when text change. Let's look at this real quick. The on change. Maybe even on. So select this does an on change, but we want to add event listener change, and then the script to execute. When a user writes something in an input field, that's fine. That's what we do. So we want to do an input and then the script. I wonder if I'm not calling the script actually. Let's try that. Nope, that's not right. I like my semicolons. I need to do that. It's just how I like it. Refresh here. Edit. Look at my console. Make sure cannot read property 2 lowercase of undefined. Okay. Cannot read property of 2 lowercase on undefined. Very interesting. Can you do this? Nope. Okay, let's just take that out. I have the title change method. It's a function. What it was doing before was this. All right, let's refresh, edit, clear that. I want to put, do I have a breakpoint in mine? Here, I want to see, am I actually changing anything? No, it's not. Well, that's frustrating as all get out. If I tab away, still not calling that. All right. It should be easy. I wonder if I should try it myself here. Let's look at this. All right. Get element by ID, fname, add events listener, change. Trigger, it goes to uppercase. Okay. Let's change that to input. See, now it's capturing everything I do and transferring it to uppercase. Okay, that's what I expected. That's what I expect from mine. But when we add the event listener for input for my function, it's not working. Now, is it not working because of the way I did the function definition? Because this uses just the function and the function name. Let's try that. Let's change it. Instead of using a variable to hold the function like this, we're going to call this title. Oh, no caps for me. No caps for you.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's right. No time for caps lock issues here. Let's update that. Refresh that. Let's come back over here to my tools. Everything's clear. Go to edit. Yeah, I don't get it. Because I got my element by ID. Did my add event listener. Just title change, which is the name of this function up here. but it did not add the event. What am I missing here? What am I missing? Because here we can see it actually works inside here. Do I just have to do it by this? Okay. So I'm using that reference, but let's change it just a little bit here. Because we know this isn't working right now. Okay, there's that. Normally we'll get element by ID. I wonder if that's it. I wonder if it's because when I changed the HTML, it changed the element, which then made that wrong. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay. Save it, refresh, rerun. So that's all good there. Refresh, refresh, edit. Here you can see we're doing document.getElement. Look at that. Some things I just don't make sense. Like I would not have thought of that. And then if I come over here to this one, look down here, titles. So if I go say, welcome, there it is, welcome. Now when I do this, I actually get an error here. Yes, failed to execute, removes listener on event target. 2 arguments required, but only 1 present. Let's look at the event listener remove. Because obviously I missed that one. So there's adding. I want to remove event listener. Remove event listener. Let's look at the syntax for that. Okay. I have to provide it the same function. Okay. All right. I gotcha. So let's remove event listener input and, but do I need to do that? Do I actually need to remove that event listener? We're going to do it because I don't want that event listener out there listening for something, even if it's just kind of dangling out there. That's be like a leak of some kind. So we don't want to do that. So, all right, let's get this going again. I saved that right. We're going to refresh this. Still says welcome. It's because we didn't get rid of the backing context. Welcome to my stream. Okay. Come over here. Welcome to my stream. Back to our dev tools. I'm going to clear this, get rid of some of the noise. Turn the edit off. And welcome to my stream. Turn the edit on. And we just want to change it to welcome. Turn the edit off. Okay. There we go. All right. So there's that. All right. Now that we got that going, quickly going to update the just checking. Looks like my frames just skipped a few an hour ago. So we've been good for a while. All right. So let's, all right. So now we've got that. I don't think I need this anymore because that item's just not there. Now, the update list item function, or update list item, there's that. Here it is on the item text change. So first thing is we need a way to identify what we want to swap out. So before it was just text, right? I think that's what it was. Let's just comment that out. I think it was just this. Let's check it, look at it. Item.text. Let's run it, see what it looks like. I think that's all it was. Let's refresh that. There it goes. Had let it get going again. Come on. There we go. Okay, that's all it was before. It was just text, which I think is just equivalent to that. Just a text element. Actually, you know what? We don't have to worry about that. All right. Actually, I do. I need an element because I got to be able to grab something. No, why? Okay. We're going to say our ID equals item text at item dot ID. Is that right? Is that what we want it? Or do we care? Do we actually care at this point? Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, we want them to have separate ID names. We want them to be unique. Okay. Now, I'm going to need to do a little bit of the same thing here. So, I'm going to have to extract all this out. Too much. And we're going to need another function here. We're going to call this item text change. Okay. There we go. Don't need that though. You just want a pretty print to activate. Okay. We're going to kind of do the same thing here. Document.get. So we're going to get multiple elements. But I don't have a get elements. It says I've got to know the ID if I want to. I could get it by class name. Get elements by class name. Maybe that's what we do. Because do we care about there? Just give it a tag. A class of item text. Or do I already am I using that class somewhere? F, find me the next one. Let's go. Oh yeah, I was using it on the input. Okay. Nope. All good. All good. Okay. Get elements by class name. Item text. So we need another variable var. What do we want to call this? No, I still want that. var items text. No. Item text items text. Let's do that. Okay, so get all the items that we need to update. Yep. Item list text. Let's do that. All right. So we want to, forgive me, I don't want to get the, let's just go to the beginning. JavaScript for each. I think it's pretty similar to what I'm doing. JavaScript loop array. Loop through an array in JavaScript. It's really what we want to do. All right. Simple to the... So... do simple for method there. All right, the above will come alert A, B, C, and foo. Let's try this. Let's do for var elem in item list text. Then we want to, we already know what state we're in. elem.outer HTML equals, I'm going to do the same kind of stuff we did before. That's why we just commented it out up here instead of deleting it, because I'm going to use it. There, okay. Now, but we need the value. Just like before. We're going to close that one out. And we're going to fill in the middle here with elem.enter text. All right, so actually I really just want to verify that this works right now before we do this. Okay, so if I hit edit, did that? Did I change the right one? Let's refresh that real quick. Let's look at this. Item list text. Did it actually come up with something? Yes, it did. Okay. So the outer HTML is undefined. That did not give me my... All right. I guess I should read this a little bit here. Yeah, it just went over. It just simplified my for loop in there. All right, so better yet, there's that. Oh, of. Well, let's go ahead and just do that because you're not going to do anything. I'm surprised I'm not getting an error down there, but not in, but of. That's my C sharpness coming out here. I want to do this one, refresh, edit. There's that. So let's step over element is, that's it. There we go. Let's go ahead and just let her run through. Let her rip. Boom. Haha. Oh, I like that. Now I got to reverse that. Okay, so let's. This is good.
Just do it!
Got it. I'm just gonna do it. Don't flaunt over. Don't just do it, Ryan. All right. Whoa. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So we want to do same thing for var element of item list text. JavaScript formatting. Yeah, is what it is. Outer HTML equals. And we want to get what it currently looks like, which is just a text element. Put her inside some ticks here. And we need to replace this with the current. Which is just elem dot value. That should give us the going back and forth. And the next thing we just have to do is add our event listeners. So I wonder if I can do that globally. Can you do that globally? I don't know. One step at a time, Ryan. Edit, unedit, edit, unedit. I like it. I like it a lot. This is when I need my Hannibal Smith. I love it when a plan comes together. I'll have to clip that. I like that one. Okay, so now we need to tie on event listeners. So we did that. Elm is now a new list. So can I do a... I'm going to Google it real quick. HTML element, add multiple event listeners. And no, I want to add, let's see, add event listener to multiple elements. How to add event listener to multiple elements in a single line. I think that's what I want to do. Elements.array, query selector, all for whatever. This is still doing a for loop. You still have to do it. You still have to loop over everything. Yeah, I would like it to be able to be done in a single line as well. But I mean, no, I don't want to do that. All right. But that means I don't think I can do this. That's just what was wanting to do. Because I changed the event listener. I changed the object. I don't think this works anymore. So what we were doing up here was on change. And we were going to our new function here. Items text change, which is items text change. Oh, just like that, I think. Item text change. Let's see if that works. I don't think it will, but we'll check it out. Let's see what it does. Edit, edit. Go look at my console here. Actually, I think I even did that all wrong. Let's look at this one more time. It's not. It's going to be the same type up here. It's going to be input because it is an input. Let's refresh that. Okay, edit. We'll come over here. I want to see what we do, if anything. Yeah. Okay. So really what I got to do is I have to go back and I have to do this again. I have to add all the... Okay. Well, it is what it is. So this actually used a query selector. Handling events for many elements. Cannot claim credit for this, but I found a great solution here. Let's look at that great solution real quick. All right, I don't want to watch anything. A less than ideal solution, a good solution. For complete unconfusedness in the code is a translate with a diagram and 3 steps represent. So we have the parament. Now I need to see what the dude is. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think I want to keep it somewhat simple. Document.query selector, whatever. It's an array. Do a for each on the array. You can actually just dot for each. Let's try this. All right, so really what we can do is we can do document dot get elements by class name. We're going to do class name of, I think it's item text. Dot for each. And in here we want to do dot add event listener. See, it's this line right here. Whoa. Control X. Just hate it when you mean to hit Control V and you hit Control C to copy something you didn't really want to copy. There we go. Much better. Get rid of that. All right, let's test it out. Refresh that. Look at our thing here. Refresh that. Tell me I forgot something. There's that. Dot for each. Document dot get elements by class name. Does it just want that? I don't think that's what it wants. So it's saying JavaScript expected. That's what it's saying. Got it, got it. For each, you're actually passing it a function. Right? Is that what it's doing? For each. function that's what it's doing. There we go. And need that too. Why not? That. Come over here to this one. Clear it out. Edit. On edit click is not defined. Refresh this. Get rid of that. Did I miss something somewhere? It's certainly possible. There's that edit state. It's saying on edit click is not defined. That looks right to me. For each is not a function. Let's try and read that stuff. Appreciate the answer. If you use ES6, it's possible. Then it's possible. But for each is not defined in what I'm using. So, nevertheless, we could still do this. Wait, why is for each not available? You can get a list with documents, elements by tags. It doesn't work for me. Should open a new question. For each is not a function. Okay, well, that is what it is. So back to what I was originally going to have to do that I didn't want to do. Returns an array. Do a for. Elem of item list text. We're just going to reuse those. Okay. There's that. Get rid of this one. Take that. That should work, I think. Let's check it out. Let's refresh and make it happen. Okay, edit. Better, better. And it's updating. That should still work, and that still works. Titles. All right, so that our edit button is working. Now I wonder. So if I here and I do, it only fired it once. Let me clear this real quick. Okay, it's only firing it once. Now I still want to go get rid of that. I still want to remove those event listeners. So we're going to go ahead and remove event listener. It's an input. Item text change, simply because I don't want any kind of memory leak of any kind. Just don't want it growing and stuff happening. So that's why we want to just make sure we clean up things. If we add something, we want to remove it, so on and so forth. So let's refresh that. Go to edit. Run down titles. Let's make that back to title. Watch this thing update. Boom. Welcome. What is that? That's not expected. Yeah, we need to go look at that. I'm going to start this over. That didn't. All right. Let's bring it back up. Let's run it. Ooh, almost coming up on 2:45. Man, we're making progress, though, so I'm happy. Just means I have to work a little bit extra. That's okay. All right, so edit. Just making sure I don't have any. It lost something in translation. Let's look at that. So let's try that again. Text is undefined. All right, we need to look at that because that's not coming out right. I think I know what that is, actually. Because we changed some things. Because this is using text now instead of just being a text class, it's actually using a text element. So I don't think the way we are getting the text for that is actually valid anymore. I don't think that's that. I think it's whenever we have the item checked. I think it's this one here when we get this text is not correct anymore. Let's go to our JavaScript here. Sources. Because I'm pretty sure that's playing some havoc with us. This item text changed. Checked item. Okay, let's check this out. This item is that. It's 30. Children is that, which we have now a text element. Let's just jump over this real quick. Yeah, so if I look at this items to update, text is undefined. So let's go to our console here, clear this out. Let's look at this list item. Children. We're going to look at child1 dot text Text content is what it wants. But I was doing dot value. It doesn't have a dot value. Does it have a val? No. We can do text. Inner text. We can do inner text if we want. Or we can do text content. Which do we use? Is there a reason you use inner text over text content? I'm going to use inner text. Okay, and we'll see if that fixes our issue. I'm going to go ahead and stop this because I do want to clear it out. Let's use that dot inner text. Is that okay? We're going to find out. Let's get it going and running again. There, and I want to do this one. Let's refresh that. All right, we're back to normal. Gonna clear this out. Gonna run. That looks okay. Refresh, refresh. we're still good there. Let's come back over here. Let's look here. Okay, let's go to edit. Edit. Still looking good. I'm gonna refresh here, make sure we don't have any just extra items just appearing. We don't want that. All right, let's do an edit here. We're gonna go to welcome. I'm gonna try this. I expect it to still work. Text was nothing though. That could be an issue. Yes, it is an issue. Okay. So editing within, okay, editing within this is not cool. Or checking while we're editing. So we need to, let's just disable the checkboxes while we're in edit mode. I think that would be the easiest way to solve the problem. All right, so when we're in edit mode, we want to get go ahead and our check items. I can do that up front. We could handle that up here. Checkbox items equals document dot get. All right, get elements by class name. Do the checkboxes have their own class name? Type checkbox. Check item. Yep. All right, where'd you go? Where'd you go? There it is. Check item. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so we need to do another for loop in here for our element of checkbox items. Element dot this enabled. Is that right? Is that acceptable? HTML checkbox disabled. HTML input disabled attribute. Is it an attribute I just need to add? Dot attributes. How do we add an attribute here? I was actually doing it in my other page here. Rundown.cshtml, blah, blah, blah. Add class, just adding a class. I want to add an attribute, not a class. Okay. Smell checkbox. Add attributes. I don't want data attributes. I just want HTML element, add attributes. Set attributes. Set attribute disabled. Disabled. Okay. Add disable attribute to input element using JavaScript. That's what we want to do. All right, so we should be able to tr disabled true. Is that right? Is that what it said? Let's look at it. Looks good. Okay, let's refresh. Yeah, that's right. That's going to be there until I stop it. That didn't work right. Did it? Checkbox. Did not add the disabled attribute. Well, I don't like that. Class check item. Yeah. Checkbox items, check item. Yeah, sometimes the first one doesn't always work right. Should be getting used for getting or setting the value. Use .val method instead. Using attribute value, some value will work to continue as it did in 1.6. In other words, .attribute equals document stuff, prop equals not document stuff. This jQuery from .atr. Disabled. Let's try that. Edit. Oh, that didn't work. .attr is not a function. Okay, is that because I'm not using jQuery? Possibly. So we'll try set attribute. Set attribute. And we'll go click it like this. Click it or tick it. All right, refresh. Clear out all the trash. Edit. Hey. Get rid of this. Unedit. Oh no, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. We're going to remove attribute. I believe it only needs the one. All right, so let's refresh. Edit. Non-edit. Edit. Non-edit. Edit. Non-edit. All right, hey, let's clean it up now. We're getting there. We're getting there. A little bit different running live stream, but you know what? We're getting things done. It's looking good. I'm liking the ability to do some of this stuff. Can edit here. We can say welcome. And we can say pre-show set stream titles. Say thank you. We can go click, go remove the breakpoints. Click, 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 click. Come back over here. Everything's clicking out here. We're perfect. We're what we want to do. Okay. All right. Hey, that's it. We're good. I like this. I like being able to do this kind of stuff. I think this works perfectly. Well, no, it works. I think we can do a little bit of cleanup in JavaScript and stuff like that. If anybody watching this stream live or on demand, if you want to take a crack at this, we are pushing this up to GitHub. So we are going to do a git add dot. All right, so we want to do a git commit -m. So today we added ability to update checkbox titles and a edit, not edit button. Added a, let's see, a switch for editing. We'll make that a little bit better. We will change that edit button into more of a glyph of the little pencil glyph. That way you click it on and then it becomes an X when it's not. So we'll update it with that. Should help with a little bit of the styling, hopefully. And then we'll look at a couple of other things. But I think we're about ready to, maybe we do need to do some service cleanup in our API. And then I think we're about ready to do our first pull request into to Mr. Fritz, to Mr. Jeff Fritz, and hopefully get some good feedback from him and his team, and hopefully get it accepted. So I'm very pleased and very happy with what we're doing, and hopefully you are too. Again, if you got any suggestions, you want to contribute, hey, please go ahead. Everything is now in our GitHub out there, so that's where we do our update here. So we made our last one. So go ahead, please fork it, add some PRs. Let's make it great. Let's make this an awesome PR. So thanks everybody, and I look forward to seeing you on the next stream.